Oh yes, I must check that. Good point. Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon everyone and welcome along to Bridgehaugh, where we are stone throw away from the Wallace Monument, and today we have the last fixture of this weekend's rounds of matches in the FOSROC Super 6 competition as Stirling Wolves go up against Ayrshire Bulls. Stirling desperate for a win. It's been 5 defeats on the bounce in the Super 6. Injury of course haven't helped Ben Cairns' side. As for the Bulls, they are starting to find their stride, winning the last 2 in the competition and even running the Warriors close in pre-season a couple of weeks ago, so it's set for a quality game of rugby this afternoon. Delighted to be joined by Colin Gregor in the commentary box. Colin, today should be good. We did Ayr a few weeks ago. They were very impressive. Are you expecting more of the same today?
I think Ayr will be one of the teams to look out for throughout this Super 6, as you said, that running Glasgow Warriors close in that game, obviously with Worcester unable to play Warriors in pre-season. They'll be buoyed by that. I guess they've maybe had a week or two away from the Super 6, but they've got a pretty sort of consistent spine to that team, and then when you add in the likes of Violanu, the number 8, I think released from Warriors, it'll be really interesting to see how he goes as well. So yeah, it's another strong Ayrshire Bulls team. Yeah,
it definitely is, as you say, Violanu. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes. But what about this Stirling Wolves side? You know, some good young players out there, but it's just not clicking for them.
Yeah, it's been a long start to the Super 6. You can't buy a win, and obviously a heavy defeat last time out at Watsonians. They have said during the week that they've got a few guys back from injury. The likes of Nathan Macbeth, I think, has been released from Glasgow Warriors. So without putting a bit of pressure or too much pressure, I think they almost are saying that to this team. It's like, okay, we've struggled early on, but we've kind of been not hiding behind, but we've had the excuse of injuries, that they're almost saying that these are no longer valid excuses. So I think it's time we start judging Stirling from now on, and let's see what they're all about.
Yeah, definitely, and to be honest, as you say, bringing these guys back who do have a bit of experience, it is going to be massive for them, particularly at home as well. Yeah,
any team in almost any sport, you want to make your home a fortress, and for Stirling, a bit of a trek for Ayrshire up to Stirling, up almost to the Highlands. But I think throughout the day it's been all the teams across the kind of age groups of mini and midi rugby, and then the seniors below the Super 6 have played. So it's great to have that kind of almost festival of rugby, and this towards the end of the day, coming up for the 5 o'clock kick-off, the showpiece event. So yeah, these Stirling guys, they'll be wanting to put on a show for the crowd, for these youngsters that we're seeing passionately waving the Stirling flags. But it's also about just getting their season up and running and start to build some momentum from here on in.
Yes, it definitely is, and as you say, it's great to see young fans there as well as old. Well, if we have a quick look at the teams, Ben Cairns has rung the changes after that 60-point drubbing to Watsonians last time. He's made 8 personal and 3 positional switches. There's a welcome return for the highly rated Ryan Southern, who comes back after that unfortunate injury 20 seconds into round 1. Glasgow Academy player Logan Jarvie is also back from injury, and he will slot in on the right wing. Finn Burgess is back involved after his rest period with the Scotland under-20s. There's an alteration at 10 with Cypriot international Marcus Holden moving to fly half, and Ewan Cummingham starting on the left wing. In the pack, former Durham University student and Bucks winner Jack Hill is at number 8. George Arnott and James Poy return from injury to start in the back row and second row respectively. Poy will partner the highly rated Max Williamson in the second row. Finally, Glasgow Warriors player Nathan Macbeth comes straight in to add his bulk at loose head. As for this Ayr side, Pat MacArthur, they have a boost of being able to select a number of Glasgow Warriors contracted players who are released to players. The big talking point sees a debut in the Bulls shirt for Tongan international Sione Violano. He has shown his power over the last number of years in the Gallagher Premiership, so the Wolves need to be on their guard to stop him. Alex Samuels comes into the second row alongside the hard-working Edward Bloodworth. Unfortunately for the Bulls, Jamie Shedden misses out through injury, so Thomas Glendenning gets an opportunity at outside centre. Glendenning recently was involved in the summer series, another one here out in the pitch with the Scottish under-20s. Alongside Glendenning, an inside centre is Robbie Beattie, who has shown his class all tournament. He'll be looking to do the same this afternoon. Captain Blair McPherson is at 6 this week, with James Malcolm at hooker. The former Seattle Wolves man seems to be enjoying life back at the Bulls since returning from the States. So there you have it, Colin. Plenty of big names, young and old, on show.
Yeah, all set to be a real quality game, and good to see some of the, I guess now that the Warriors season has started, some of the kind of, well, I don't know if Simon Bergen on the bench for Ayrshire Bulls can count as a fringe player, a Scotland international, and as you said about Vailanu, the number 8 international for Tonga. But these guys, it's almost their first crack of the season to show Franco Smith, the Warriors' new coach, what they're all about. And yeah, they've got to approach these sort of games with the right mindset, the right attitude, go out and show for these guys in particular, the physicality they can bring. It'll be great for Nathan Macbeth at loose head prop for Stirling if Bergen does get on and he can kind of scrummage down against a Scotland international, but also a teammate at Warriors to see where he's sort of currently at in the pecking order.
But as you say, you know, guys getting a chance today that are contracted, and particularly with Glasgow's disappointing result last night, there's big opportunities, you know, to maybe slot in for the URC in a couple of weeks coming for some of these guys.
That's exactly it, and that's exactly how these guys have to take this sort of thing. It's not having been at Warriors and knowing the kind of, when you're not selected, do you go to a club game and be like, oh, can't believe I'm at this, or do you go and say, right, well, this is where I'm playing, this is me, I'm still a professional rugby player, I've got to go and give my all and make sure that I do stake a claim to get back into that Warriors team or into that Warriors team. And so yeah, it was disappointing last night for Glasgow Warriors, so there's every opportunity for these guys to go and just impose themselves in this game and at least ask the questions of the Warriors coaches.
Yes, definitely. As we see, Blair McPherson lead the Ayrshire Bulls out. Physicality is going to be a big thing today, with Violanu, Rory Jackson and Blair McPherson in the back row. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all pans out.
And now please welcome Stirling Wolves.
And now the home side, Stirling Wolves. Marcus Holden can play 10, 12 across the back line. Really experienced at club level, played a lot of rugby all around the world. As he leads his troops out, he'll want a big reaction today. In the middle this afternoon is Johnny Perriman with his assistants Neil Murr and Alistair Watt. Before we get underway today, we'll have a 1 minute silence to pay our respects to the recent passing of Queen Elizabeth II.
As a mark of respect, we ask that you can be upstanding if you can and join the players of both sides and the officials today in 1 minute of silence, which will now begin and end on the referee's whistle.
So just about set. Colin, actually that all important question. Any chance for Stirling Wolves today?
There's always a chance. It's going to be mighty difficult for them. When you think that the Ayr, they didn't play against Southern Knights when they were meant to, because they were playing against Glasgow Warriors, and they gave the pro team, the full pro team, a real run for their money. So they're going to be buoyed by that. They've been in good form in the Super 6. They've got a really settled team. The flip side is that Stirling Wolves do have guys coming back from injury. They do have a couple of the Warriors players, so they're as strong as they have been so far this season. So yeah, if there's any chance for them to get this season started, then maybe today's the day.
Yeah, maybe it is. It'll be young Richie Simpson, highly rated Ayrshire Bulls. Number 10 to get us underway as he goes long and deep. It's a bit of a cloudy day at Bridgehaugh. First real chance for friendly Burgess. Just put that up there. The competition. Fine take. Liam McNamara to Elias Cavan. Of course, a couple of weeks ago he got that hat-trick. So we watched him, so dangerous. When he gets going, Linak, well tackled. That's a great turnover. That's exactly what Stirling Wolves will want to do all day. That knock on will come, so the Wolves will have the scrum. That's what they want to be at, right in those fringes, isn't it? Disrupting ball.
Yeah, just setting that tone early on the physicality that they want to bring to this game. Fantastic take on the high ball from Ayr fullback Liam McNamara, and then when it comes to the breakdown, and that's where the games I've watched Ayr so far, when they've got a real intensity, a real kind of physicality to their game. For Stirling Wolves to have any chance of getting parity in this game, they're going to have to match them there. They're going to have to surpass that intensity and that physicality. And if they can get at Jordan Linak, the Ayrshire Bulls scrum half, and disrupt ball, then that's a great start for them.
Yep, it is indeed. Big scrum from Ayr as Burgess is under trouble. The summer series man he played with the under-20s coming off the bench. His runners outside him. Gregor Hiddleston, 20-year-old. Ball's just gone back. Ayrshire Bulls have their mitts in that. Quick ball could spell danger, but I tell you what is dangerous. Violano going straight through the middle. First impressions from the Tongan number 8. And they go themselves, their scrum half, Jordan Lanak. He's still going, picking up the tempo. Cavan acting at scrum half. And they're going to use the heavies. And Alex Samuels, round the corner they come. And I think they are indeed. So inside 3 minutes, Ayrshire Bulls get on the score sheet.
Captain leading by example, I think, Blair McPherson. What a start. We're just seeing the last phase there, and the big bruising Blair McPherson. He'll do that all day. He'll just ask defences to make tackles of him. You don't match that physicality. Just a couple of metres out. Incredibly difficult situation for any of the Wolves defenders. But it's that Vailanu getting on the front foot straight off that turnover, just picking through the ruck, and then great recognition from Jordan Lanak. Just keep the tempo in that attack, take the quick tap penalty. It was an easy 3, didn't even consider that. Let's get over that try line, and a couple of phases later as Captain Julie did.
He did indeed. Doesn't matter in the back row where Blair McPherson plays, normally an 8 playing at 6, causing inroads, scoring tries. Richie Simpson lines this up. Nice straight forward start for Richie Simpson. So a fine start for the visitors, 7-0. I'll tell you what, they're going to be hard to live with if they keep playing like that.
Yeah, it's also how do the Wolves respond from that. It has been a long, hard season, obviously on the back of a real hiding last time out, so not the start that they would have prepared for, that they would have wanted. So let's see the character of this team now.
Restart from Holden. It's actually right in the money there. Logan Jarvie just couldn't grab onto it. So our first line out. Go to James Malcolm. Of course, played rugby in America. My back. Playing with air. Try and set this up. Keep it in tight. And they peel off and they're still there. And Malcolm, he's coasting along. Now he breaks. Now once again on the front foot. Lanak. And there's the try scorer, McPherson. Barging plenty of bodies out of the way. Andrew Nimmo, a bit nimble there, thought he was going to give it. Simpson, those runners outside him. It's better defence from the Wolves, and they're countering that breakdown. That is absolutely brilliant. Not letting Ayr settle at all. Hiddleston making sure the ball is there for Burgess. And they go out the back to their number 10, Holden. Vice captain, I should say joint captain with Connor Gordon. That'll settle them down. That's a great turnover.
Yeah, excellent recognition when they could the ball's back in play though. Quick line out, smart from the Ayrshire Bulls. McNamara just hoofing it downfield and just take the pressure that Stirling Wolves could have put on the line out deep in Ayrshire Bulls territory. Smart recognition that the line out wasn't formed, they could still get the ball in, and then for McNamara to use that hefty left foot and clear into Bulls the Wolves territory. Sorry.
Yeah, McNamara, classy player, Australia under-20s. Also played in the Sevens team, 2016-2019. Coached by a certain Andy Friend of Connacht. Of course now. Something different from Holden. Where's that bounce? Straight into McNamara's hands. Just scanning was Liam McNamara. Picked up a very good position. Knack. A slower ball. Samuels. Another big addition, of course, with the Warriors as well. Malcolm goes for the speculative dummy. Sister, of course, will be going to the World Cup in New Zealand. Like that on the half volley. Not sure his coach will be too pleased. McNamara, quick hands to Cavan. First real sight, and he's got pace. Great tackle from George Arnott, and he's in there. I was going to say any good 7, but he's got 6 on his back, but that was brilliant. Gregor Breeze, George Breeze, I should say. Here is Arnott. This time Burgess looks for his skipper and Holden. McNamara very casual. Is he going to go? He always looks to go. There's a bit of Chris Latham about him. The old socks down.
Blast from the past there. That'll test some of the viewers. Remember that he was a quality operator at fullback for Australia, wasn't he?
It's quite a big comparison to make this early on, but he does have the socks down, Colin.
He likes to run from deep as well, and Latham used to enjoy that, both left-footed as well. Yeah, you've hit the jackpot there.
You're going to hang me out to dry there. Anyway, we start with the scrum Ayrshire Bulls. Tell you what, the kicking's actually been quite impressive from McNamara and also Marcus Holden.
Yeah, just recognition of where the space is, and we saw a couple of phases ago, a couple of minutes ago, Holden. They've obviously done a bit of analysis on the Ayrshire Bulls and putting a little chip kick in over the line out, and it was maybe 2 yards overcooked. If it had been slightly less than you looked like, or it looked like the Wolves were going to get onto that ball. So yeah, it's just recognising where the space is and then executing, and it's also, you have to be accurate, because if, you know, we're joking about McNamara being similar to Chris Latham, but if you kick ball down his throat and you're loose with your kicking, you're loose with your kick chase, then he is a quality operator. As he said, Aussie under 20s, Aussie 7s, that broken field running, he's going to lap it up. So yeah, it focuses the mind for Holden and the rest of the Wolves players. And similarly for Stirling, Craig Robertson at fullback, Logan Jarvie on the wing, they're dangerous runners as well. So if you kick aimless ball to them, then they could make you pay.
So Lanack, another player that grew up in Australia, feeds it in. Happy to keep this in. Fialanu looking. It's on his right foot at the moment. Now he goes. Is anyone going to tackle him? Tell you what, Conor Gordon does a good job of it. Here's Alex Samuels. He's made an early impression. Lanack to Simpson, looking for runners. There's another turnover. Gregor Hiddleston has played back row before as well. You can see how good he is on the floor.
Yeah, I thought it was smart play from Richie Simpson, that he had his winger Elias Cavan on that outside run, and he was just delaying, and then he thought there was a half gap through the dummy, got on the front foot, got over the gain line. But it's great tackle from George Arnott, the Wolves blind side, and then, as you say, it's Gregor Hiddleston, the hooker, that gets in on ball as well and wins an excellent turnover. Just Ayrshire Bulls just probably a man down at that breakdown, and good recognition from Stirling that they could get in and get that turnover.
Yeah, Hiddleston from Dumfries travels up to training 2.5 hours every day. Whenever they train, and then the Wednesday go back to the farm. So a bit of an all-rounder, can't keep the farmers away from it. And he hits his darts, more importantly, right now. Playmaker of Craig Jardine. Max Williamson. Big future ahead of Williamson. Just a slip from George Arnott. The Bulls will have it back. Samuel's looking for runners, but he goes himself. Simpson, just flick of the wrist to McNamara. Probably had the most touches so far in this game. Simpson goes for the sensible option. It's down the throat to Craig Robertson. He sends it back to Simpson. The kick tennis at the moment. Well taken from Conor Gordon. physicality levels just up the notch. Just nice pass. Speaking of nice passes, lovely from Breeze. Hiddleston looking for options. Uses Jack Hill. Only one box with Durham University. It's his first start. He was doing an internship in London, that's why he was late to the party here at Stirling. Now he's back up. Has been capped for Sale as well, Jack Hill. What do you make of the last 5 minutes or so, Colin?
Stirling are finding their way into the game. They're matching a bit of the physicality of the Ayrshire Bulls, and as you kind of identified earlier, I think they're winning the kicking game just now. It's John Lanack in the backfield for Bulls there, just putting it out on the full. Stirling, they're feeling their way into it. They're not panicking. They're not throwing balls that they don't need to. They're not kind of chasing the game by any means, which, obviously you're only a couple of minutes in. But when you're concede the first score and your confidence is a bit fragile, there's a chance that might happen. But they're really impressed with how they've applied themselves. Yeah, and they're trying something different now with Holden to his fullback and Robertson. As the kick goes through, who's chasing that? Just gone forward, I think, from Ewan Cunningham. We will have a scrum, or will we have? I'm going to say actually it's a goal line dropout. There you go, that kick in behind, which you identified. Yeah, great attack from Stirling from that line out. The phase is obviously set play, and then it's just recognition from Robertson that there's a little bit of space in the backfield, and Cunningham's a whisker away from grounding that. But yeah, again, for Stirling, they can take heart, take confidence from the way they've responded to going 7 points down almost with the first play of the game, right back in this. Yeah, as you say, Ben Cairns may have been a pretty wordy coach in that opening couple of minutes, but he'll be much happier with the last 10. As Ryan Southern has got a bit of X factor about him. Great to see him back. Got injured straight off the kick-off in the opening round. Now he's back out there. A man born in Cape Town. Yeah, here we go. First chance for Stirling Wolves to get on the board through Marcus Holden. Interesting now, the kicking at goal or not kicking at goal, that it's that a lot of teams do go to the corner and try and get the 7 pointer with the line out maul, or just building the pressure until they kind of work their way over the line. But Stirling, maybe 30-35 metres from goal, bang in front, 7-0 down. I think they're just thinking, let's get some points on the board, let's get back into this game, then they can regroup and look to go again, which can't fault them for that decision making. It's over to Marcus Holden, their co-captain and fly half, to prove it to be the right decision by popping this through the posts. Yeah, as you say, it is the right decision. Never looked anywhere else. Good from their co-captain Holden. Stocky old fella. Good kicker of the ball as well. So cuts the gap to 4. 7 points to 3. Air lead. It's exactly what you want when you're in that position, just to make sure that you do get the points. You get some reward for the hard work that you've put in, which I'm intrigued that we're still going for a 15-minute water break. I'm not sure Scotland in the mid to late September quite merits that, but yeah, fair enough. I'm sure that the players will enjoy that. The referee might enjoy a little slice of orange as well as a sip or two of water. Can't all be 7 specialists, and just run on anything, can we, Colin? Well, exactly. But it's a chance for both teams to regroup and just have a little bit of a chat, isn't it? And Blair McPherson there, the 6 for Ayrshire Bulls, the captain, I'm sure he'll be just saying, well, let's just get ourselves back in the right half of the pitch and build some pressure on Wolves after Stirling had been doing that to Ayrshire. Simpson came through the youth system at Ayr Wellington youth prospect, so he was. He's touted to have a big future, and he's working with the former fly half Fraser Climo.
As Holden finds touch, so the safety first. Good kick from the number 10.
Excellent clearing kick from Holden there, yeah. A lot of the time when you've scored points, just the importance of clearing out of your own 22 immediately afterwards, just making sure you gather the restart, and then you're accurate with that exit play, as it's called. And Ben Cairns and the Stirling coaches will be delighted with that as an exit. That's up to halfway. It's really, really good.
Malcolm comes himself. First real sight, Robert Beattie. And Nemo seems to always love that dummy, does Andrew Nemo. Violano, no dummying in him, just leg driving power and offloads. Michael Scott on his shoulder. They have the advantage. Simpson always has time in the ball, and Beattie gets it away. Rory Jackson burying the head and going again. Simpson to McPherson. This back row is quality. They're showing what they're all about. Beattie on the switch line. Not often you see a knock on from Robert Beattie. But they will come back, and we will have a penalty and our chance maybe for Ayr to either take the points or put it deep in the Stirling half.
Yeah, a bit of concern for the Ayrshire Bulls with Robert Beattie looking in a bit of pain, discomfort there. Not sure if he tried to put a little grubber kick in after he'd come back on that cut line, or if it was just a drop. But whatever's happened in the process, he looks like he's got a sore one. But really good Ayrshire attack. Just the variety to it, that sort of off the back of the line out, Malcolm and Beattie linking, and then we see the latter phases. You've got big Blair McPherson carrying into the guts, which prominent for a lot of their. Yeah, I think he did try and put in a little grubber kick, but it's a really sore, almost the standing leg, I think, is his left leg. It just doesn't, looks like a nasty one, just jerks a wee bit the way he falls there, so hopefully he's okay. Yeah, good response from the Bulls, having conceded those 3 points, just getting back into the right end of the pitch and putting a good number of phases of play together before it came to nothing, although, as you said, Stuart, that they were playing an advantage for an earlier Wolves infringement, so they do have a chance to build further pressure. It's never a nice thing to see.
No, as you say, thoughts with Bobby Beattie at the moment. Hopefully he'll make a quick recovery, back out in the pitch sooner rather than later. Moved there July last year. Was it London Scottish and Ealing as well? Jordan Lack helps him off. He's been so good in this competition for Ayr. It'll be a big loss. More importantly, let's hope he gets recovery and he's back out sooner rather than later on the pitch.
Yeah, just a real important club team player as well, kind of the glue that makes a lot of the good stuff for the Ayrshire Bulls happen. Just does the basics very, very well and makes those around him play a little bit better as well. So sorry to see that, and shame for him and for the Bulls, but there's an opportunity. I think it's Chris Elliott that's come on, so see what he has to offer in the absence of Robert Beattie.
Yep, the former Cathar Queen's Park man, as he watches his team take them all. James Malcolm, line-out's been very good so far. So's their driving maul. Ball has come to ground. Nanak doing plenty of pointing. Now the pass does come. McPherson once more. He stopped that time. Now the turnover from Stirling Wolves. Just need to be careful. A few dodgy passes. Just need to clear their lines. Burgess needs to get in there and sort his pack out. Gordon doing exactly what a co-captain should do, getting the important meters in those areas of the pitch. It's a scrum half, probably not where he wants it. What a good kick. Here's Cavan, jumping up and dancing. Now he passes to Elliott and Simpson. Will he go all the way? He's got plenty of pace. Does Richie Simpson. And he's over for Ayr's second score. He put the foot down and got in the corner, did the young fly half.
And he's taken a sore one in the process, but what a counter-attack from Ayr, just recognition of where the space is, and you see the danger man, but good vision as well from Cavan to get the ball out to the width, and then simple hands from the new man Chris Elliott, and good pace from Richie Simpson, the fly half out on this wing, which it's obviously done well to get back into position when the kick happens, rather than just ambling across the field. It's working hard, knowing that actually there could be a counter-attack opportunity, and that's where Chris Elliott and Richie Simpson did well, just to create the numbers for the Ayrshire Bulls, which you feel for Stirling, having defended, repelled that first onslaught from the Bulls, just clearing their lines. They didn't make touch. It's always a risk if you keep the ball in field, especially when you're that close to your own line, and the Ayrshire Bulls have made them pay.
You're doing well at the moment though, cheers.
Yeah, they have indeed. Simpson, Glasgow Caledonian University student. So impressed with him, got his first start a couple of weeks ago. Seems to be taking this 10 jersey by the mantle. He's going to take a rest with the kicking from the tee at the moment. Up steps the left winger, Elias Cavan. Let's see what his radar's like. Looks pretty good. It's very good, isn't it?
I don't think he could have split them any clearer, right down the middle. Lovely strike from Cavan, yes. So I guess further concern for Ayrshire Bulls though, with the normal kicker Richie Simpson not taking that. He looked like he had got a sore one in the process of scoring the try, so not sure if he'll be able to continue playing or not. I think there's a slight stoppage while we wait to find out.
It's crazy how things can change in rugby so quickly. You know, Stirling Wolves got to the final of that sprint series a couple of months ago, and now they're struggling really out there.
Yeah, just the kind of loss of a couple of players, and then momentum goes against you. The bounce of the ball doesn't go your way. The confidence goes, and once you're in that kind of that negative spiral, in that kind of almost habit of losing, it becomes a really difficult place to get out of. And you think, example, that last score from the Bulls, where Stirling have done well to gather the loose ball to stop the initial Bulls attack, and then it's just, I mean, if you're being hypercritical, you'd say that the clearing kick wasn't where it needed to be, and they'll look at the kick chase and what could they have done differently, and as a result this Bulls team's got the quality just to find holes in your defence and make you pay the ultimate price.
Holden, nice and flat. Good line that is from Southern. This is what he's all about. Gets it away to his fullback. That's brilliant from Ryan Southern. And they go wide. Just need a bit of composure, and they don't get it. But they're going to get a penalty. And it looks like Jordan Lanack is going to go to the bin.
I think it's Liam McNamara. It looked like it was Lanack, but yeah, I think offside, given the signals that Johnny Perriam, the referee, was making.
Yeah, you're right, Liam McNamara. What a break from Southern. And here, McNamara must come in. Yeah, he's straight up out of the line, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just flying up and gets in the eye line of Craig Jardine, the Wolves inside centre. And I mean, if you're getting sin bin there, you could argue, is that a penalty try as well? It's stopping a clear scoring opportunity, but on this occasion it's just the offside, given the sin binning rather than the double punishment. The concern for Ayrshire Bulls was the gap that Southern went through was where Richie Simpson should have been defending, but he was hobbling badly trying to stay in that defensive line, and it looked like he'll be unable to continue. So another blow for the Bulls. Lost their 10 and their 12 in the first 22 minutes of this game.
Yep. The Wolves will want to punish them. As Hiddleston finds the man. It's in the green headgear for the hooker. They have the advantage. What a time this would be to hit back. Burgess trying to get that ball. There's a few mitts in there for Ayrshire Bulls that didn't allow it. The momentum has swiftly changed in the favour of the Stirling Wolves. They have the extra man as well.
Yeah, I think the Bulls were lucky not to concede a penalty try then as well. The speed with which the Wolves maul was moving towards that line, and like Bulls captain Blair McPherson was chief culprit in illegally stopping it, but he just about got away with it. But another great setup from the Wolves.
It is indeed, but there you go. Just when I was about to say, surely Hiddleston got a bit of white line fever, I think, and knocked it on.
It's just so frustrating for Stirling Wolves. They're in such a good position and great momentum to their maul. You think that they've got it set. They're in a good position. All the forwards just working as one. But yeah, just in that transition to get the ball right to the back to Hiddleston, the hooker, you could just see the ball hitting the ground. And so the Ayrshire Bulls have a chance to clear their lines. By no means job done yet. It's a big scrum. You'll expect the Wolves to try and put pressure on this Ayrshire Bulls pack.
You mentioned it earlier that Richie Simpson's afternoon is over. I haven't quite seen him, but I presume it's Will Hunt that has come on for him. I'll double check that when I do see him. As Violano gets the momentum. There you go, William Hunt it is. Good first touch. That'll settle him anyway. What a corker of a kick that is.
That's, as you say, the perfect settler. Great exit from the Ayrshire Bulls. Sione Violano making great yards off the back of that scrum, and because he's then on the front foot, the Stirling Wolves defence are retreating, so it just gives Will Hunt, the replacement fly half, just that extra second or two, kicking under no pressure. What a connection with the ball, and Craig Robertson knocks it into touch for Stirling. So Ayr get the put in, and look at them trundling on now.
There they are, and they're happy to keep it in there. And who would blame them? The knack to Michael Scott. Here's William Hunt. Chris Elliott, that actually is in fact. He's given away a penalty. So they're still fighting. They should have scored already, Stirling Wolves. They're not giving up. Why would they? Their defence has been pretty good actually.
Yeah, excellent defence there. Having shipped a few yards from the initial maul, they regathered, and then they went and met fire with fire as Ayrshire Bulls tried to attack off the back of the maul. It's Blair McPherson coming into the side of that ruck, trying to support his teammate Chris Elliott. Pretty clear that he's not entered from the back feet. He takes the Wolves defender out illegally, and again it's a good kick from Holden, gets Stirling back into a decent attacking position.
So the man from Dumfries gets it right once more. Burgess says, "I'll take it, thanks." And then Jardine. Bit of a battering ram is Craig Jardine. Burgess to Connor Gordon. Good feet from the co-captain. I think that's gone backwards. The second one hasn't. Again, these are squandered opportunities. The scoreline could be so different here, Colin.
Yeah, that's another gilt-edged chance, isn't it, for Stirling Wolves? That so much of what they do is good. It's just almost maintaining that composure, that calmness as they get right to the opposition line. That's where they're just coming unstuck. Just a difficult one there to gather the loose ball. As you said, I think it hadn't gone forward from a Wolves hand until the second intervention, and that's when the opportunity goes. That's James Malcolm now receiving a bit of treatment. So another of the big guns for Ayrshire Bulls, that they certainly wouldn't want to lose him, having lost their fly half Richie Simpson and their inside centre and kind of linchpin of the backs, Robert Beattie, as well.
Yeah, guy coming more and more into this game, Craig Jardine. His dad, of course, played with the club. Won the Premiership with Stirling in 1995. Also was a Scotland international as well. So all about the rugby, that family.
Yeah, that's for sure. Good to see him following his dad's footsteps and wearing the number 12 jersey as well for Stirling. Yeah. Big boots to fill as well. His dad was a hard man as well. He was a no nonsense inside centre, that's for sure.
Sure, he's learned plenty from him anyway. As you can see, cuts back in good angles. Bull scrum just getting on top. Fialanu having a bit of a field day at the back there. He's going to have to do it again. Must be great as a number 8, not that I'd ever know, but when the scrum goes forward they just seem to be able to control it and away they go.
Yeah, for the Stirling Wolves backs, I'm sure they're not all that excited at the fact that their scrum's going backwards a little bit, and Fialanu can basically just look at, well, who am I going to run over this time? But on that occasion, saved by the whistle of the referee resetting the scrum.
Of course, former Worcester and Wasps, Fialanu helped them get their Premiership final a couple of years ago. Also played for Ayrshire University in Japan, and here he is again. The 10 caps for Tonga. Last one coming in 2021. He still harbour ambitions to get back out there for his country. You can see his frustration as his teammate James Malcolm just fumbles that. Or was there a wee bit in there? I'm not too sure.
The Bulls captain was certainly not happy with something. He's having a fairly extended conversation with Johnny Perriam, the referee, but I don't think there's any chance that the referee's going to change his decision. As we see Fialanu again just trundling forward. Trundling's probably not doing him a fair bit of or doing him a fair bit of disservice, isn't it? But then next phase, James Malcolm just in the process of going into the contact. It's a good tackle from the loose head prop Nathan Macbeth of Glasgow Warriors. This dislodges the ball, and another great attacking position for Stirling Wolves.
Yeah, it's Hill to Burgess. Holden goes himself, the big number 10. And what a finish that is. Marcus Holden, that is very impressive.
It's a fantastic score. Just here again, they've got the extra man, Liam McNamara, the fullback. He's still in the sin bin, and it's just the little bit of footwork when in a one-on-one situation. It's just enough to stand up the Ayrshire Bulls defender. And Ellis Caven, the left winger, he's staying out marking his man, thinking, well, I just have to trust the defence inside to make the tackle. But Thomas Glendinning is the man he stood up by this guy. Marcus Holden, excellent footwork, maybe belying the size that he is. The agility that he showed was excellent. Can he double down and get the 2-point conversion as well?
He's doubled down indeed, as you say, Colin. Called it early. Thank goodness it trickled over there. It's very good from the number 10. Played plenty of rugby with the rugby club Hillsvarium in Holland. Played over 150 times in the Dutch top tier, winning 3 championships over a 7-year spell. Joined Stirling a couple of years ago, but has played pretty much everywhere: England, New Zealand, Wales, France, Italy, Canada, and now in Scotland. Seems to love his rugby, but it's just great that he can play competitive rugby here and show what he's all about, as we see Liam McNamara come back on.
Yeah, and the list of countries that he's played in, he's obviously got a fair bit of experience, and he's recognised that guy McNamara in the sin bin. So it's like, where's that space? Where can we identify a one-on-one and make Ayrshire Bulls pay? And he did exactly that.
Did indeed. Violano. I hear the crowd. Not sure they like seeing the number 8 run against them. Certainly a few cheers out there. Well covered by Robertson. The clubman at Stirling is Craig Robertson. McNamara, composure to go back. Probably not his greatest kick, but the safety of the touchline.
Yeah, I'd say again, Stirling won that kicking battle. I'm not sure that the first defender has tackled Violano yet. I think he's made it through that first tackle on pretty much every carry that he's had. And it's great to see. I mean, he is again, he's a big lump, but he's got a bit of agility about him. We saw a nice offload from him earlier on in the game as well. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of impact he can have at Glasgow Warriors.
Yeah, he actually played against Ayrshire Bulls a couple of weeks ago in that pre-season. He's playing with his teammates. Jardine picks up the scraps as Arnott comes at pace. Switching the play is Burgess. Holden again fancies that dink. This time McNamara gets unlucky with a bounce. He's under a bit of pressure from the white jerseys. That second momentum, he did very well. Is that not rolling away from Ewan Cunningham? And easy out there.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for the defender, but you just have to be seen to do more than just lie there with your hands in the air or your arms in the air. That's just not enough to get out the way of Jordan Linac, the Ayrshire Bulls scrum half. And yeah, referees are hot on that these days, aren't they? Just if you're stopping the opposition or the attack from getting any tempo to it. And yeah, clever kick from Holden again. It put McNamara under pressure. He did really well to make the yards that he did, and then Bulls benefit from that indiscretion from Cunningham.
Not straight from James Malcolm. Played for London Scottish as well in his debut for Glasgow Warriors some 7 years ago.
In the midst of a Major League Rugby as well, so he's just back over here during their off season.
Yeah, also played London Scottish. These boys have done that down in London. That time he didn't get it right. Hasn't been like him because his line out has been good today. So 5 minutes to go, first half. Stirling Wolves have stuck in rightly. Ben Cairns will be happy enough, I suggest, with this first half. They've let a few chances go. Holden with a skip ball to Ryan Sutherland. Looks bulky, seems to be pretty quick as well. Williamson, another man part of the Glasgow Warriors squad, but his teammate Violano, candy off a berry, and they go, and they've got pace. Aaron Tate stretching his legs. Oh, he's far too good and far too quick, is the right winger. And Ayrshire Bulls, they've just hit Stirling Wolves where it hurts.
Sucker punch, isn't it? Just thinking how well Stirling have come into it. But look at this from Violano. You think, oh, he's just going to run over everybody, but he's got the skill, the vision to see actually the spaces out wide. Good hands from Malcolm and Linac. Just get it into the speedster's hands early doors, and look at Aaron Tate go. We see it again here. You think he's just going to run over another poor Wolves defender, but no. Sleight of hand, great hands there from Linac, drawing in that last Wolves defender. You don't need to give someone like Aaron Tate a second invitation to scamper down that right wing. So yeah, a bit of a sucker punch for Stirling with a couple of minutes to go until half time. You just feel they've worked so hard to get themselves back into this game, and then it's a relatively soft score, but you've got to credit the Ayrshire Bulls counter-attack there.
Yep, all came from Sione Violano. A step above here in this first half. That's the conversion. Just slides wide. So 9 points is the gap. 3 tries to 1. There's a few fans watch on. Maybe a few concerned looks as well.
Yeah, I think just the way the majority of this first half has gone, it's been about Stirling getting themselves into good positions, and eventually they do get across for that score. And no sooner have they done that, got themselves back to a couple of points behind on the scoreboard, and then they're just undone by ruthless counter-attack. But great strip from Hiddleston there to get Stirling back on the attack for the last couple of minutes of this half.
Yeah, he's had a couple of those in this first half. It's Holden, just glides, and they have numbers. Good strong finish to the half from the Wolves. Breeze, only one way he's going. Unfortunately for him, it's backwards. Still there in the white shirts. Here's his other prop in Nathan Macbeth. Just going to come back. Hope George Breeze is okay here. It's a big collision. Doesn't look great at the moment.
No, and good refereeing. Got to put player health, player safety, player welfare front and centre, recognising that there's an injury. So let's just call the game just now and let the medics deal with the injury. As you say, hopefully Breeze is okay. As we see him slowly, gingerly getting back up towards his feet, onto one knee.
Yeah, born in North Yorkshire. Went to Glenalmond College. Also represent Caledonia and Glasgow in the West. Was selected for Scotland under-20s in the past. What a sight that is there, Colin.
Yeah,
must
right.
Be a joy to play rugby.
Yeah, right up to Stirling Castle. You've obviously got the Wallace Monument looking down on Bridgehaugh as well. It's a pretty scenic place when the rain stays away, that's for sure. It can be the end of the world on occasion, but nah, look at that. It's lovely. It's many a stunning rugby setting in Scotland, and Stirling's certainly one of them.
Definitely. I'm sure the sun's out there. They're still having water breaks as far as I can see.
Always a couple of degrees warmer in Stirling, yep. So hard earned for the guys out on the pitch.
So Callum Norrie is coming on a prop.
Still a good still a good attacking position for Stirling. You just hope that with Breeze off injured that their scrum's not compromised unduly. So we're struggling to get the ball in on that occasion. The right thing is just to reset. Let's try and go again, and see if Stirling Wolves can get the final say of the half, or is the Ayrshire Bulls defence going to come out on top?
Yeah, I was just going to say, this boy Callum Norrie played in the sprint series while still at school. So talk about a big future, hopefully. Yeah.
Fair play in the front row as well.
He's a big old boy. Played under 20s with Scotland while he was under 18 eligible. So a few more years with the 20s. Does okay in that scrum. Big strong Ayrshire Bulls. 8 bodies in front of him. Jack Hill puts the head down. Bit static from Nathan Macbeth, former Curry Cup man, kept it. Craig Jardine, the ball was behind him. Stop start at the moment for the home side. And they get something with 30 seconds of the half to go. Finlay Burgess trying to inject that. The kick wasn't the greatest from Craig Robertson. And away they go, Ayrshire Bulls. It's their skipper, Blair McPherson. They come the short side. Kick comes through from William Hunt. Who's on the end of it? Is it his winger? We shall see. They've given the try. Oh my goodness, defence into attack. And the forced score and the bonus point.
Clinical attack from Ayrshire Bulls. Great to see. You think Craig Robertson with the chip kick over the top. I think it's the front row of Bulls that charge it down, get the offload away, and then McPherson, fantastic rampage into Wolves territory. But look at the execution of that grubber kick from William Hunt. It's not just the actual execution, the vision to do it as well under pressure. Gathers the ball, throws the dummy. Look at that on the toe. Perfectly judged for Aaron Tate to just about gather and put down right on the edge of the perimeters of the pitch. But yeah, what a finish to the half for the Bulls.
Yeah, and what a 5 minutes or so for Aaron Tate as he gets his second score. Wasn't sure, I couldn't see, so we're going to call it early. But he did get over for the double. Hunt, the provider for that score. Back up and trying to kick goals. Just hits the post. So he's not going to add the extras. Those Ayrshire Bulls with a fine first half. The clinicalness was just so good at the end there. Stirling was threatened to come back into this game. 4 tries to 1. What do you make of that half?
Yeah, I'm not sure that the 24-10 score to Ayrshire Bulls is reflective. That Stirling had large parts of possession and territory. A couple of times they just almost left tries out there, and then Ayrshire Bulls, even when they didn't have a sniff of the line, they got counter-attack, they got turnover ball, and those last 2 scores, in fact even Richie Simpson's score, it was off a loose kick from Stirling Wolves, just so clinical and making the Wolves pay for the slightest of indiscretions.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's have a look at a couple of those first half highlights. Well, as you say, the captain barged his way over early on. Blair McPherson set the tone.
Yeah, he's been excellent, as you expect. In fact, throughout this season he's been excellent, but he's been excellent today as well, just carrying and being a nuisance at breakdown and putting in some big tackles, as have his back row compadres. Vailanu at 8's been really good as well. And straightforward conversion kick for Richie Simpson, and yeah, it was 2-3 minutes in and it was 7-0 to Ayr, and then just a bit of a loose kick. Stirling don't get their kick chase quite right. They're a bit fragmented, and Ayrshire Bulls do really well to realign and keep some width to that counter attack. And Richie Simpson's got the pace, but good hands here from Cave in the left wing. You think in that situation maybe a winger's just going to have a go himself, but no. Links with Elliott, and Elliott says, "Okay, Richie Simpson, you've got the wheels to get on the outside." And it was the last play of the game for Simpson. Picked up a knee injury after that, and then it was Stirling's chance to strike back.
Yeah, it was indeed. Through their co-captain, pace and power and quick feet for a big man, I should say. That's brilliant from the fly half.
Yeah, it's just this little sort of stop-start and just almost a swerve of the hips that does for Thomas Glendinning, the Ayr defender, and just because they're that close to the line, they're a man down. Their fullback McNamara's in the sin bin at that occasion. That's all that Holden needed to get on the outside. 5 became 7 with a lovely conversion.
Yeah, indeed. Here you go with a big man causing all sorts of inroads. And then, as they say, forwards win matches, backs decide by how much. And Aaron Tate deciding that at the moment.
Yeah, and you look at fair play to Max Williamson, the Wolves second row chasing back. But Franco Smith, the Warriors head coach, you'll be delighted with that little pass from Vailanu, not getting caught up, just thinking, I've got to carry, I've got to make yards, I've got to get tackle breaks. It's about putting the team first and recognising where the space is. Great hands from James Malcolm and John Lanack just to free Aaron Tate, recognising off counter attack, get the ball to the quick guys, and there he goes, setting the Bridgehaugh turf alight.
Yep, expect to see a few fireworks. They're coming out of Aaron Tate's boots at the moment. And then he started it early on the half, Blair McPherson with a try, and then he was heavily involved in this one. I think the kick from William Hunt has to get a lot of praise for that.
Yeah, and as we look at it again, though, credit to James Malcolm. He's in support here, so McPherson, good scramble defence from Stirling. There, Malcolm, rather than thinking I'll just bury my head into the ruck, the ball's there to play it, so move it away, keep the pace, keep the tempo to that Ayrshire attack. And William Hunt recognises where the space is and puts in a lovely kick. You see Lynette going in, the scrum have to clear to support, and Malcolm, okay, well, my job now is to get that ball away. Does it really well, and it's an excellent finish in the end, and a real sucker punch for Stirling to be going in 24-10 down after the effort and toil they've put in.
Yeah, so a good first half, plenty of tries. Let's turn our attention to the Scottish women's team. They head to New Zealand next week for a World Cup. Should be great fun for them. And with a point to prove as well, they want to go over there and cause a few upsets. Let's hear from their camp now.
In every child there lives a dream. But every dream is built on the support and sacrifice of those around you. Lifts to early morning training sessions. New kit, boots, gum shields. Reminding you, you've got the skills to run rings around the boys. Words of wisdom, of encouragement, making you feel like you can do anything. But dreams need more than just belief. They need opportunity. They need people to set a course, to break down barriers, to show what is possible. Though it's been a while since we reached the summit, we knew it could be done. 12 years of working, progressing, believing. 12 years of highs and lows, all leading to this moment for the chosen 32. Their dreams came true. Now they rise together to carry Scotland's.
Yes. Well, let's welcome back. Just touching briefly on the Women's World Cup. We must send our best to the Scottish women team that head out New Zealand. Should be good for them. Should be good fun to watch.
Yeah, first time Scotland have been there at the World Cup in 12 years, I think, as well. So what an opportunity for Rachel Malcolm to lead the team, and yeah, there's a lot of exciting players there. So go over. It's not the easiest of draws or pools with Australia, New Zealand, and Wales in their group, but it's about going over there and making sure that they perform to the best of their abilities, and if that's good enough to get results, then well and good, and learn from it, come back and build going forward with women's rugby around the world. It's a real kind of growth sport, so exciting times.
Definitely, yep. Back to matters here. Bridgehaugh 24-10 to Ayrshire Bulls. And who else but their skipper? He's absolutely everywhere. Nanak opts for the kick. It's a very, very good one. Sort of 50-22, I think it might be. What about that for a start?
Oh, Blair McPherson starting the second half exactly how he started the first half, with a barnstorming carry. Didn't get over the try line at the beginning of the second half, but he got Ayrshire Bulls on the front foot, and fantastic recognition there of once they'd made the yards where the space was. I'm not sure, was it Linac or as Cam Jones come on? That's not too sure if there was a wee change at scrum half at half time, which obviously now that we can see, I think there's Cam Jones, is it number 24? So just the white tape around the knee when he kicked it. I thought that's not Linac, but what a kick it was.
Definitely. I stand corrected. Cam Jones.
It's your one strike, Stuart. Any more of them and you're done, okay?
I'll swap seats. Jones to Alex Samuels. Starting second half just like the first. And they spin it wide, and Aaron Tate, maybe he thought it was an early hat trick, and you can see by the grimace on his look on his face, he thought he was in again.
He's touched the ball twice and scored 2 tries. I think he was trying to get 3 from 3 there, but he was already working on his celebration, what he was going to do to mark his hat trick, and forgot to catch the ball. So a little let off for the Stirling Wolves, because that Ayrshire Bulls line out looked pretty ominous to start with. Good defence in the end from the Wolves, but yeah, not an easy position to get yourself out of when you're right in the corner, just 6, 7, 8 metres from your own line. So maybe hope that they get a decent scrum and see if Jack Hill can get off the back of the scrum from number 8, try and make some yards, make a slightly easier kick for Marcus Holden at 10 or Finlay Burgess at 9, depending on who takes on the responsibility.
Yep. Wait, does that. Jack Hill. So a change for Ayrshire Bulls at 9, as you said. Watch this clearance from Marcus Holden, but yes, Cam Jones is on for Jordan Linac. Jones was at Southern Knights last year, been with Scotland underage in the past and part of the Gloucester Academy. Joined there in April for the Sprint Series. So a good battle at 9 with Linac. See who starts. Both pretty lively round the base.
And good pressure that Bulls put on Holden and that Wolves scrum, that they just couldn't get any sort of distance with that clearing kick. Excellent execution again from James Malcolm and his forwards, winning that line out, setting them all up, and they trundle on.
Yep. Malcolm twisting and turning. It's Jones. Simon Bergen. I think I see a shot of him as well. Lovely hands from McPherson. Fianu, he can't believe it. He was sure he was in on debut for the Bulls for a try. But yeah, plenty of changes there. We'll just see if that was Simon Bergen or not.
Not a bad position to be in, to have Simon Bergen coming off the bench for you in the Super 6 competition. Whether he's on yet, it's some impact that he could have yet. Looks like, isn't it? This near side to the Ayrshire Bulls scrum.
Burgess under all sorts of pressure. He'll get strike 2. So what a man to bring on. You touched on it, Simon Bergen.
Yeah, he's a player with a point to prove as well, moving from Edinburgh along to Glasgow. Obviously Warriors had a tough year last year. He didn't really get much of a shot. New coaching regime in this season, so obviously not involved in the first game over in Treviso last night, but he's got best part of 40 minutes in the Super 6 to show Franco Smith, the Warriors coaches, that actually he should be there or thereabouts in the 23.
Yeah, over 30 caps for Scotland. Played 89 times for Edinburgh. So yeah, looking for a bit of the rub of the green here today, and also to see if he can put himself back in the Glasgow Warriors side. Born in Christchurch, actually. Qualifies for Scotland, so he did. A Stirling born grandfather. So there you go, small world.
Indeed. Good knowledge yet again from yourself, Stuart.
That's what Google does, doesn't it? So, good clearance. Or Stirling Wolves. Another sub. And Adam Fraser. Bit of a mullet haircut. Never what goes, Colin.
I don't think I went quite as severe as that one, although it's been a lot more severe in the world of rugby over the last couple of years. I think Hamish Watson probably leads the charge with that one, although he has tamed it now. So yeah, it's the kind of haircut that I'm never sure it's all that fashionable, but it became slightly more fashionable or slightly less unfashionable might be the more appropriate. But yeah, I don't know if Gregor Hiddleston's injured or not. I thought he was good in that first half. It's just a real dynamic ball carrier around the field as well. And on the whole, I think the Stirling line-out was pretty accurate. So if he has gone off tactically, then Angus Fraser's got big shoes to fill.
He does indeed. Born in Dundee, signed his first professional contract with Glasgow this season, so 2 cracking hookers at Stirling Wolves with good line out operators, and about the park very good. As the offload comes, and it's going to be a run in. Lewis McNamara, the former RBA captain, only on the pitch. Schools Cup winner, now scoring tries for Ayrshire Bulls. And you can see by the smile, means a lot to him. Probably his first touch. And didn't he finish it well?
He did indeed, but again, it's the Bulls captain, that Blair McPherson, that's at the heart of it. They do really well to get up and steal that ball. Good hand from Malcolm, and poor Stirling Wolves defence thinking, oh, Blair McPherson's in the middle to get the ball. But look at that offload, just the control, the depth of hand. And Wolves don't get their defence set. They're not expecting that offload for that quality from Blair McPherson. As we see the reverse angle here, it's a big first contact from Jarden Holden, trying to hold him up, but he's having none of it. He just gets the arms free. Lovely little over the top offload. Great support line from Lewis McNamara, and I'm sure he can't believe his luck that he's got an unopposed run in. That's the game, Stuart, isn't it? It's striking first at the beginning of this second half. It's a real killer blow for Stirling Wolves.
Yeah, great work from McNamara. Dundee University student, studied history and international relations. Played for 3 years there before moving to Glasgow Hawks, and got signed by the Bulls in April. And you can see the talent he has. Pretty dynamic as well. Would have learnt a lot from Dan Soper, who coaches school, and now with Ulster. Played in and around the likes of Michael Lowry and James Hume. So, comes from good stock. Royal Belfast Academic Institution, enjoying his rugby in Scotland, particularly today. Jones. Puts his laces through that. So 21 points of difference here. Stirling Wolves just has to be careful that this doesn't add up and the difference in points.
Yeah, and Ayrshire Bulls still playing the kind of the smart game there. I think Cam Jones, a chance just to run from deep, go a bit Barbarian, a bit Harlem Globetrotter on it, but they're showing Stirling a bit of respect still. Again, good line-out disruption. But unfortunate. I was enjoying watching Nathan Macbeth fly hack and then charge after that. I think referee needed a sense of humour just to leave it a minute or two, or maybe not a minute, but a few more seconds before blowing the whistle.
Yeah. Fine strike of the ball, Nathan Macbeth. Well, he played for the Golden Lions in the Currie Cup. He's played for the Lions in Super Rugby. Not many have played underage for both South Africa and Scotland, I tell you that. And he's done that.
In only rugby, has he done the round ball as well with those skills? That's impressive, isn't it? It's a bit of South Africa and Scotland, yeah.
I'm not sure he'll be getting signed up anytime soon. But who am I to say? Back to the rugby. Spialani goes himself, and the power straight to Cam Jones, and he's going to go the length of the pitch. Is the substitute. Oh, they're putting the foot down, and Cam Jones reaps the benefits.
Just really smart play from Vailanu there on that occasion. We just see, look at Stirling, they're all concerned about actually just sticking in the scrum. Callum Cruikshank thinking there's no blindside here. I don't need to worry about defending, about getting off the scrum quickly. And Vailanu's saying actually you do, before Cruikshanks has realised. Vailanu's past him. Cam Jones, he knows what his number 8's doing. He's there in support, and he's got a relatively straightforward run in down that right hand side. Again, it's just good recognition of where the space is from Ayrshire Bulls, and then just having the ability and the quality to execute and really punish Stirling for just slightly switching off at scrum time.
Yep, big number 8, and a big part of this dominant play from Ayrshire Bulls. One substitute to another, and William Hunt. Just slides right of the post. Still 36 point to 10. Really, probably no way back for the Stirling Wolves. William Hunt played rugby in Caxias in Portugal. Sort of where he was playing at his best. And history was back at the Seal Sharks Academy some number of years ago. Battle there with youngster Richie Simpson. Simpson, seeing how long that injury is for, but going for the rest of the Super 6. Interesting if they're both fit who starts. I think Simpson has maybe got that jersey, particularly in the performances that I've watched, Colin.
Yeah, nice position for Pat MacArthur and the Bulls coaches to be in, though, to have two good, young, exciting fly halves that want to play and want to play the right sort of brand of rugby, the way that Ayrshire Bulls are looking to play. And we do hope Richie Simpson's not got a serious injury, but I guess if he does, then the Bulls are still in a strong position.
Burgess still battling away there at 9, as is Conor Gordon, the co-captain. Ball spills. Cruikshank in the blue headgear. Macbeth this time going back to the basics. Instead of the right foot, it's the right shoulder.
Would have liked to see a wee chip kick again from him there, but yeah, smarter play on that occasion. I think keeping it in hand.
It's Liam McNamara this time. Gets it to the deck. Try scorer Jones. to Hunt. Where's that ball bouncing? With feet. Callum Beckett. Fraser trying to follow Hiddleston's footsteps. Playing a good second half performance. Stanley Burgess combines with his number 10 Marcus Holden. Not really creating much at the moment. Kick comes over the top. McNamara slides onto that one. The cool customer. Here he is, the captain, just like he's done all afternoon. Cavan back inside, and here's the double. Lewis McNamara, he's having an absolute field day out there. Probably the best 10 minutes in an Ayrshire Bulls jersey for the back row. And look, he doesn't know where to look. Another great score for Ayrshire Bulls.
Yeah, picking up some excellent support lines, but yes, brilliant to watch this Ayrshire Bulls team. They've just got threats all across the pitch, and again it's Blair McPherson, their captain, just being he's such a prominent role. It's great recognition of getting down that blind side, and he's got the ability to get the hands free in the tackle, keep the attack alive. Just see that pop, and great work from Cavan, the left winger there. Is Aaron Tate, the right winger, he's picked a couple of scores already today. You think as a left winger, does he want to get in on the act? But he's not thinking that way. He's just thinking about the team. The easy option, the correct option is just to execute the 2-on-1. He does it perfectly. And another great support line from Lewis McNamara. He's got the pace to scamper in from the 25, 30 metres, however far it was. He'll be saying it was 75, 80 metres. Another, again, from nothing, Ayrshire Bulls, just that ability to sniff a half gap and then maximise it to the fullest.
Yeah, great support line from McNamara. As Hunt finds his kicking boots and strikes it through. Fine golfer was Lewis McNamara as well. Cousin is of course Harry Diamond, you should know that. He won the bag for Rory McIlroy.
Yep,
no, Colin, you learn something new every day.
Learn something every time you open your mouth, I think, Stuart. It's incredible. Just blown away. Leave me speechless all the time, which that doesn't help when I'm meant to be trying to speak on these sort of things. But yeah, it's tough for Stirling Wolves, because you think of especially that first half, what they put into that first half to be going in, what was it, 24-10 down at half time. And then the first 70 minutes of the second half, they've just been blown away just by the clinicalness of Ayrshire Bulls. I mean, it's just half a chance, and they're exploiting it. They're just recognising where the gaps are, where the space is, and yeah, you do feel for this Stirling team now.
Yeah, that's not going to plan. As Marcus Holden kicks that out in the full. Just need to regroup here. It could turn pretty nasty.
Some of the amateur players who obviously they were enjoying a bash out against Ayr earlier in the day. It's been a lot of Stirling v Ayr games apparently up at Bridgehaugh, so not sure who's won the majority of the games, but certainly the big finale in the Super 6, it's going to be the men from Millbrae that are going to be going home happiest. Win or lose though, I'm sure there'll be a couple of social drinks shared, which is great to see from both sides. Just part of the camaraderie, isn't it, of rugby?
Yeah, definitely. As you say, plenty of battles going on today. This battle in the scrum has been dominated by the Ayrshire Bulls. It's Jones, he's not stopping, he's still going. High, stays on his feet. That pass to William Hunt, oh my goodness, don't know how he caught it, but he did. He can thank his scrum half as Hunt goes in untouched, and the tries keep coming.
Just great recognition, isn't it? We've got the penalty advantage, so let's just go. Cam Jones thinks exactly that, and look how quick he is through that gap, and then just about gets the control of the offload. And again, when your luck's out, Ryan Southern, the Wolves outside centre, almost just bounces off him and it just sets it off in the direction of Hunt. Here we see, just look how quick he is away through that gap. Wolves will be critical of themselves about not getting set, about not recognising where the threat might be. But when you're 40 points down, you kind of understand that. As it's a 7-pointer, as you'd expect, when it's right under the posts, and that's the 50.
That is the half century racked up for Ayrshire Bulls. Pat MacArthur, he'll be a happy man. Really putting Stirling Wolves to the sword here.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy as well that they lost a couple of their key men in that first half. Richie Simpson and Robert Beattie. I think they go again.
Man, he's desperate for that hat-trick, Aaron Tate. Hunt shaped a kick, but he never was going to do that. We finally make a mistake. Chris Elliott. Alex Tom gets his first touch. Max Williamson, he's tried hard. Been over Glasgow for a while, hasn't got his first cap yet. He will soon, no doubt. Lines of running still happening for Stirling Wolves, but there are defenders. Turnover. Is it Simon Bergen? And they're pinching that as Liam McNamara shows the outside. That's been spilled. And here we go. Alex Tom keeps his balance, but then he's tackled. We'll have a penalty.
He's 9. He's trying to pitch
So they'll go into this corner here.
Can't tackle.
Through Liam Brins.
Yeah, game just getting a bit looser, a bit more fragmented as you'd expect, with Stirling needing to try and chase it, and you're just hoping to put a couple of the real showy scores on as well, just with 50 points already racked up. It's good cover defence actually in the end there from Hunt and Glendinning for the Ayrshire Bulls, just stopping that Stirling attack just off the loose ball. Liam McNamara thinking that his offload had been knocked forward by Stirling, but referee let it play on, and they're now in a good attacking position.
They are. Can they get something? Burgess happy to let the heavy still control it as they're meandering towards the try line, and he's given it. The referee's arm does go to the air, so they've got a consolation. They're still a bit argy-bargy in there. Stirling Wolves get the score. There's also a few men in there, a few fisticuffs.
Yep, I think Blair McPherson, the Ayrshire Bulls captain, right in the midst of it as well. And I guess the Bulls will not be happy that they've conceded a score from a line-out maul as well. Sure, Pat MacArthur, the former hooker, will have them well drilled around those sort of situations. That's where Stirling Wolves have got to take a bit of credit for getting in that position and getting their pack over the line. Again, it's almost like another little mini game now, isn't it, for the remaining 20 minutes. But the big game is done and dusted, so what can Stirling do? How can Ayr's sort of replacements cope, and will they keep racking up the scores, or will Stirling be able to take a bit of confidence going into the rest of the Super 6 season?
And the lock's out, it really is. Holden bashes the post. 50 points to 15. They've got something. It's not going to count for much, but I suppose a big finish.
Stirling Wolves 15, Ayrshire Bulls 50.
Ahead of next week. They'll be searching for their first win of the competition. At the moment, they're a good bit away from the performances they're putting out there. Injuries, of course, as I spoke about at the start, really haven't helped Ben Cairns and his team. Bouncing ball. Sits up nicely for Liam Brins. Adam Wood on now to give it a blast, but he's been stripped. Another error is forced, but that all comes from the pressure at the breakdown.
Yeah, I think on that occasion it's Alex McGuire, the replacement hooker for the Ayrshire Bulls, who gets right in on ball, manages to disrupt it, set it free, and then Wolves knock it on, trying to recover possession that they'd coughed up. And that's, yeah, Pat McCarthy and the Bulls coaches have a chance to get their entire bench on and get them a good run out as well. Obviously a couple of enforced changes in the first half, which I thought had potential to impact on how this team played, but it transpires they've more than managed without Robert Beattie and Richie Simpson, and now the rest of the bench has been emptied and everyone's getting a chance to stake their claim.
Yeah, definitely, and show their worth. I must say it's great to see Adam Wood back out there. Stirling, since the age of 11, his first time back from injury. Hasn't played in around about 9 months. It's great to see him fit and healthy and raring to go. He's got a big job here at scrum time in the last 15 minutes. Especially, he wouldn't have had too many live scrums recently. You can see they're not going to lay up this Ayrshire Bulls pack. McPherson now in at 8 to Jones. Hasn't put the ball down much today, Cam Jones, but that wasn't probably his best pass.
Yeah, a real live wire Cam Jones when he's come on. Looks like a dangerous runner, as well as a good basic skill set. Obviously scored a good try with a 50-metre run in after the 2-on-1 with Vailanu down that right hand side. Again, it's just that strength and depth and some key positions that the Ayrshire Bulls seem to have. Jordan Linac is a handy operator.
Maguire to Bloodworth, and they peel. Oh, this is very good. Oh, it's too good. They hit you in the backs, and then they go through the heart of you in the forwards to Ayrshire Bulls. So 55 is up now. It all came from this set piece.
Yeah, it's just varying it slightly, just rather than the jumper being the front of that maul, they just shift it away, just move it one further out, and that's not where Stirling's defence is set. Catches them by surprise, which means that the Bulls are straight on that front foot. The runaway train is going at a relentless pace, and it's a relatively straightforward score in the end.
So the crowd definitely have been stunned today. The Bulls have had a bit of a field day in Stirling. Hunt successful with that kick. The red Nike boots.
Trying to score unsuccessful conversion from number 22, William Hunt, making the score Stirling Bulls 50, Ayrshire Bulls 57.
There's McPherson.
Not sure he's the man you want to kick to, given the damage he's done throughout this game.
Fielded by Brims. Difficult day for Finlay Burgess at the base for Stirling, especially on his pack. I've got beaten. Should say the try scorer was Tim Brown on the back of that maul, and here he is trying to get in that ball. It eludes him there. Jones pops that over the top. All a bit helter-skelter at the moment. It's Cruikshank. Bit of a Goliath of that man. Adam Wood, his first receiver. Man who hasn't stopped is Conor Gordon. I see a quick tap. Burgess, he's panting at the lungs, and you wouldn't blame him.
He's maybe picked up a little bit of cramp as well. He did well. He did well not to take the quick tap and then for cramp to kick in. So yeah, again, as you'd expect, as you'd hope, Stirling giving it everything until the dying minutes, getting some good yardage there. Callum Gordon, he's led from the front as much as he possibly can. He certainly put his body on the line time and time again, which it's not easy when you're facing the sort of defeat that this Wolves team are facing for almost the second game in a row. So you kind of hope almost from their point of view that this last 10 minutes they get a bit of momentum. They maybe get a couple of scores so that they can approach the week with a bit of a positive mindset and start to try and turn this corner and get that all-elusive victory.
Yep. Fraser did his part, and the purple jerseys stop the tide. Try scorer Brown was in there, and then when he came out, the referee given his team the put in. Tim Brown was in the Scotland under 26 nation squad. Joined his local club Montrose as a youngster, currently at the University of Glasgow, studying engineering while playing at Glasgow Hawks a couple of years ago. Also, as a youngster, Red Belt National Taekwondo sparring champion, so great centre of gravity. Also pretty good in the rugby pitch too. Pretty obvious to say, but Ayrshire Bulls are coming into this FOSROC series. Momentum is building and they're winning matches. You know they're going to be a real threat. Pretty obvious, but like you wouldn't put it past them going on and winning again.
Yeah, it's going to be a good team that stops them, that's for sure. And so I suppose you're looking at, is it going to be Watsonians? I think that the way the games have panned out, those two do look to be just a bit stronger, and it might be because they actually do have a bit more strength and depth, so even when they pick up injuries, it's not as sort of compromising to their team, but also when people are fit, and they may have had the rub of the green in terms of keeping people fit more than the likes of Stirling, who've been ravaged with injuries. Southern Knights have struggled on a number of weeks almost just to field a 15. So yeah, it's I guess it's part of the working out as these Super 6 teams, what sort of squads you need and where you get your strength and depth, and how you then make sure that you don't kind of disillusion people who would like to be playing elsewhere. You keep them motivated and energised and getting good game time, so that even when they're called upon, they're up to speed. They want to kind of make as big an impact as they can, and certainly that's what this Ayrshire Bulls squad has got, because it certainly is a squad just now that seem to be really performing.
Yeah, as you say, good age group and plenty of guys who played for a long time together, young and old. suppose we may as well in this break here, Colin, look for favourite time. I know you like to pick it, as you should. Plenty of big stars out there today on the Ayrshire Bulls side, but who is your man of the match in this FOSROC Super 6 match?
It's been a tricky one, actually. There's been so many quality performances. The whole Ayrshire Bulls team, the way they have played as a team has been excellent. Really impressed with Vailanu at number 8. I think he could have an impact at Warriors. You can see he maybe needs to work a little bit on his fitness. I think Aaron Tate scoring a couple of tries. Really, Alex Samuels, the way he started off the game was excellent. He's had some big carries, but I think in terms of the impact for the full 72 minutes so far, a couple of assists, getting the first score on the board as well. It's got to go to the Bulls captain. The main man today would be Blair McPherson.
Yep, started it all off. Did the captain, McPherson, so fair play to him. Man of the match. Appointed by co-commentator Colin Gregor. You see him there in the defensive line, but he really just leads in attack and defence. But I suppose it's his work ethic as well, and probably about the club training, you know, his discipline. I don't know that for a fact, but I imagine it is that.
Yeah, and you see how he was the one that when Stirling Wolves did score their try, the line out maul and driving them over. He's the one in the middle of the scrap afterwards, because you can tell it bothers him. He doesn't want to concede points at any time, and I think just from that minute one, he's been excellent. A lot of the stuff you see around the offloads, the way he's kept the attack going, some big hits in defence, and he's just a nuisance at all times. You can see him chatting to the referee constantly in his ear, trying to curry favour, and just that experience, that physicality that he's got, and as you say, just drives standards and demands excellence almost from those around him.
Yep, so fair play to him. It's Jack Hill. Barnstorming run. Max Williamson comes round the corner. Tim Brown got his mitts in there, but referee says not legally. So into the last 6 minutes here at Bridgehaugh.
The ideal attacking position for Stirling Wolves, so just about I'm sure the forwards have practiced this time and time again. It's now about executing under a bit of pressure.
Yep, of course, they got a driving maul try just recently. That line out didn't go to plan, so they'll have to regroup with Gordon. Adam Wood. He's looked good since coming back from injury. Certainly seeing plenty of ball, as is George Arnott. Gordon uses his feet. Williamson. He's running into purple jerseys. Burgess takes his time to his prop forward in Adam Wood. Inches short now. Norrie. And the wide ball comes. Beckett has to recollect. He dances and weaves. Those yellow boots of his. It's a fine line from Max Williamson. Offers something different. Liam Brims trying to add his expertise at 10. Burgess to the usual of Conor Gordon. 9 looks himself. Angus Fraser, the Glasgow Warrior. The switch line comes. To be Marcus Holden. He's pushed out one. Callum Norrie, the youngster. Great momentum and great possession here from Stirling Wolves. Burgess to Hill, goes a bit high. Cruikshank sets the ball up. Hamish Ferguson now. First real sight of him. Burgess has to stop. Just running out of ideas. Can Beckett change that? Burgess to Brims, going in the outside shoulder. Callum Jones repels him. Burgess looks for runners once more. The meters are made. Good pass from the 9 as Brims goes to the air. Where is that ball? Has it been grounded? Referee says it has. Ewan Cunningham, haven't seen too much of him. He's a happy man now as he gets over for the score.
An exhausting passage of play in the 77th minute. Probably started around the 74th. Great Stirling managing to keep possession. Got to credit the Bulls' defence as well, and then Brims just thinking, why not go for the Hail Mary? Let's launch the crossfield. And in fairness to Cunningham, he does really well to get up above Cavan, his opposite man, and manages to take the ball. The execution of the kick was spot on, so it was into that in-goal area. So once he'd caught it, he could just land on the ground, put the ball down. It's a well-worked score for Stirling Wolves, but boy did the Bulls make them work for it.
He did indeed. Interesting. Ian Cunningham, normally a 10. Also played 9 as well, but he's normally the kicker this time. He leaped like a salmon and got over the try line. So we see a final flourish for Stirling Wolves. Loves a strong friend, does Ryan Sutherland. Ferguson. Holden. Beckett. There's a bit of a hop, skip and a jump. See Finlay Burgess trying to run those positive lines, but it doesn't happen. He has to go back and act at 9. Holden. He's a powerful presence, is Marcus Holden. Separate international. Plenty of shouting going on there. Ferguson. Bit of crossing. Referee says play on. Brims. Interchange and Beckett. Oh my goodness. Tim Brown. That's a thunderbolt of a hit. Rib cruncher. Let's hope Callum Beckett's okay, because I felt that from here.
And Callum Beckett certainly felt it, yeah. As you say, let's hope he is okay. That's a big shot from Tim Brown. Obviously creating the knock on in the process as well. You see the reverse angle, the step back inside, and Beckett just at the wrong angle as well. Everything about it just doesn't look good for him. It's going to be a really sore one. Hopefully it's no more than a bit of a bruise. As Stirling just continue to try and knock at the door, but Ayrshire Bulls, I think, almost for Pat MacArthur, the coaches as well, the way they've defended in these last few minutes, it'll be quite heartening for them as well, that the classic that they are playing for the full 80 minutes as well. They're making it incredibly difficult for Stirling Wolves, no matter how many points ahead the Bulls are.
Yep. Interesting week for Ben Cairns, trying to get this group of players back up and at it. As you see Colin Beckett with a round of applause. Good to see him back up on his feet. But, you've coached before, Colin. What's it like? It's obviously very difficult. Another big drubbing, but if boys are keen, it could change pretty quickly if they get it right.
Yeah, you just think it's Watsonians that Stirling have got next, so it doesn't get any easier for them. And I think they've got to look back at this first half. and look at the positives in particular from that. I know they were still behind on the scoreboard even at half time, but they built a lot of pressure on the Ayrshire Bulls. They were playing in good territorial positions. Their kicking game was strong. They were looking dangerous. It was just they couldn't quite get over the line when you maybe hoped or expected that they would. So I think it's looking at that and building on that rather than getting too caught up in all the negatives that you could find with the game as well.
As McPherson swats defenders away like flies. And they come the short side, back to the skipper, and is it going to be the perfect 10? The guy who started it all and finishes it, Blair McPherson. He's been outstanding, and he finishes it off with a try and over the 60-point mark.
I wonder if he heard that he was firm favourite for man of the match and thought he'd just confirm that. Yep, decision vindicated. So thank you, Blair, for just making sure that there's he's the standout with the, as you say, starting the route, finishing the route, and putting in a mighty shift in the 79 minutes in between. It's good recognition from Cam Jones, actually just going back down that short side. Stirling Wolves just switch off thinking that the danger is going to be on the open side. Blair McPherson just holds that width on the left hand touchline, and then he's got the pace and power to finish off a fine day at the office.
Yep, it's a very nice trip home from the Ayrshire Bulls. 10 tries, impressive route. 6 in the second half, 4 in the first. Let's see if William Hunt can cap off a brilliant day for his team. Certainly struck it pretty well. It was never anywhere else. What a finish.
Yeah, just the final cherry on the top of the cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cake, I think. So yeah, fair play Ayrshire Bulls. They'll be absolutely delighted heading back down the coast this evening.
So yes, emphatic were Ayrshire Bulls. 10 tries in all. Blair McPherson leading by example, rounding it off with a superb score. Full time here at Bridgehaugh. Stirling Wolves 20, Ayrshire Bulls running riot 64. As we Colin have a look at this second half and how Ayrshire Bulls planned it all out.
Yeah, they start disrupting line out, and then when you get a turnover, you look to just get the ball into a bit of space. And Blair McPherson does what Blair McPherson did all afternoon, just carried into the heart of that Stirling Wolves defence, but had the skill, had the presence of mind just to get the arms free and just drop off that lovely little over-the-top offload to Lewis McNamara. And if he hadn't done a warm-up before he came on, moments before, that was him stretching the legs, and what a first touch for him.
Yep, he was smiling nearly even before he got the ball. It was McNamara. What about that from McPherson into the bread basket? McNamara pinned the ears back. He'll be smiling all the way back to air if he's going.
And then it's just great recognition from Vailanu down that narrow side that so often you just don't see that as being a threat, and I think that's exactly how Stirling Wolves approached that scrum, thinking we'll concentrate on getting a solid defensive line set on that open side. And Vailanu says, nah, there's space there, I've got the pace to get off the scrum to get into that. And Cam Jones, great support line before we see another great offload from McPherson, and that man again there to support and run it in.
I'd say we're both on the McNamara bandwagon here. All done to speak about him, but to be fair, first 10 minutes of the second half it was all about him. Inside trio running, great work from the replacement back row.
It was indeed, and then a cracking conversion as well. And this is just about, well, Cam Jones recognition, quick tap, Stirling in no way set. Look at the pace though to get through that gap, and then off balance a bit he throws the speculator, the offload, and whether it was going to Will Hunt or not. The fact that it then ricocheted off Southern, the Stirling opens, outside centre, ends up in his hands. But you can see he's just looking what's on. I'll get away from him, get the offload away. A nice little step off the left, back into the space for Hunt, and another 7-pointer under the posts, and it was absolutely job done by this point, despite Stirling coming back here.
Yeah, they hung in, the Stirling Wolves, and got a couple of tries later on.
Much to the disgust of the Ayrshire Bulls here, though.
Yeah, as you mentioned it, McPherson not happy to concede ever. That was one of the good mauls from Stirling Wolves.
One of the little glimpses to show that what they can maybe offer, just in the second half in particular. We didn't see enough of it. But that occasion, the forwards, they got themselves into a good position, just about got over the try line before the little stramash happened. But Ayrshire Bull said, well, anything you can do, we can do just as well.
Yeah, and Tim Brown right in there in the thick of it. Dynamic wee back row, certainly very powerful. But again, how good the set was there from Edward Bloodworth. Yeah,
and that's the difference. It's our man McNamara again in number 20, that he's the one that gets the ball. It's just shifting that point of contact. And then this is cracking to see the execution of that crossfield kick, the bravery, the commitment of Ewan Cunningham to get up and get that ball, get over the Ayrshire defence. But it had come from, it must have been the best part of 15-20 phases from Stirling, and in fairness, the Bulls had defended everything they'd thrown at them, so they went aerial and they got their rewards with an excellent execution of the crossfield kick.
Yeah, you see that challenge on Beckett from Tim Brown, so Colin Beckett is okay. About rounds it off here, but there was one more score from the skipper. I'll let you finish it off because you picked him for man of the match.
Yeah, and I think thoroughly deserving, although you could have picked most of the Ayrshire Bulls team. They were outstanding, but it's a great carry from Samuels. The second row, he was prominent throughout, and it's just that, whether it's a pre-planned move, whether they've recognised that Stirling will sometimes do leave that blindside men down, whether it's just off the cuff that McPherson stays out there. Cam Jones recognises that. It's a fine score to finish a fine afternoon's work for the men from Millbrae.
Yes, and a few happy faces there.
I think they've decided that the captain shouldn't give the captain the man of the match medal, so they've roped his teammate in to do it on his behalf or for him. Thoroughly deserved, I would say, but yeah. I picked him, so I'd have to say that.
You would indeed, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. He was outstanding today, and you can see even by his teammates' reaction there, he's pleased to give it to his captain.
Yeah, exactly. When you've put 60 points on the opposition away from home, you're going to be delighted. You're going to be chuffed. Enjoying their moment in the limelight as well.
Yep, definitely. What a limelight it was for Ayrshire Bulls today in Bridgehaugh. My thanks to Colin here. It's been an absolute rout. 10 tries in total, 64 points to 20 as Ayrshire Bulls march on here. Thanks for watching and see you next week.